I'm 78 years old, and I'm about to tell you something that most people spend their entire lives pretending doesn't exist. Everything you think you know about right and wrong, about safety and justice, it's incomplete. And the people who should be telling you this, they're too afraid to speak the truth. You see, I grew up in a neighborhood where everyone knew the rules, but nobody ever said them out loud. Where children learned to survive by staying quiet. Where respect wasn't earned through honesty, it was earned through silence. I was 7 years old when my mother sat me down at our kitchen table. The coffee was brewing. I can still smell it. And she had that look on her face, the one that meant this wasn't a conversation. This was a commandment. Listen to me very carefully, she said. You never ask your friends where their father works. You don't ask about family business. You don't ask questions. Do you understand me? I didn't understand. Not then. But I nodded. Because when Mama spoke like that, you didn't argue. Here's what nobody tells you when you're young. The most dangerous thing you can be is curious. Some of my friends had first communion parties that looked like royal weddings, ice sculptures, 7-course meals. Their mothers walked around in fur coats and jewelry that could pay for a house, and we all knew. God, we all knew. But we pretended we didn't. You know what's funny? That neighborhood is the safest place I've ever lived in my entire life. You could leave your door unlocked. Kids played in the streets until midnight. Nobody got mugged. Women walked home alone at 2 a.m. without looking over their shoulder. Why? Because there were rules, unspoken rules, and everyone followed them. Let me tell you about my friend Johnny's garage. His grandfather rented half of it to a man who kept a 1940s Cadillac there. Beautiful car, chrome that gleamed like a mirror. We were told, no, we were warned, never to go near that car, never to touch it, never even to breathe on it. And we obeyed. Not because we were good kids, but because we understood. In that way, children understand things, that some rules aren't suggestions. They're survival. One day, a kid from another neighborhood leaned against that car, just for a second, left a handprint on the chrome. 2 days later, his family moved, just like that. Gone. Nobody talked about it, but we all got the message. Here's the biggest lie society tells you. If you just follow the law, if you're just a good person, you'll be safe. It's not true. It never was. My grandfather, my poppy, he hated mob movies. Wouldn't watch The Godfather. Refused to see Goodfellas. And I never understood why until much later. Not the Hollywood version, with the honor and the family loyalty. The real version, where people disappeared, where businesses burned down, where children grew up without fathers. One time, when I was 16, I asked him about the butcher shop on our corner. The shop had closed suddenly. My poppy looked at me for a long time. Then he said, "Some men forget that respect is borrowed, not owned. And when you forget that, you lose everything." The butcher had refused to pay protection money, thought he could handle it himself. He was wrong. Every Christmas there were gifts in our neighborhood, beautiful gifts, movies on VHS before they were in theaters, brand new ski equipment. Fell off the back of a truck, they'd say with a wink. But here's the thing, nobody tells you about accepting those gifts. Every kindness has a price. Every favor creates a debt. My friend's family paid in silence. They paid in loyalty. They paid by never asking questions, never making waves, never talking to the wrong people. And when the FBI came knocking, everyone suddenly had amnesia, because that ski equipment, that was a reminder. We owe them. We're connected now. I spent 50 years thinking I'd escaped that world. I moved away, got an education, built a different life. But you know what I realized? You never really leave. I'm 78 now, and I see young people today, and they're so loud. They want to expose everything. They want justice, transparency, accountability. And part of me admires that. Really, I do. But another part of me knows something they don't. Some secrets exist for a reason. Some doors stay closed because opening them gets people hurt. I had a friend who believed in justice, really believed in it. He saw something he shouldn't have seen, and he thought about going to the police. His wife begged him not to. His friends warned him. Even the priest told him to let it go. He didn't listen. He believed the system would protect him. They found him 3 weeks later. Accident, the police report said. His wife never remarried. His kids grew up without a father. Was he brave? Yes. Was he right? Probably. Did it matter? No. So, what's the point of telling you all this? Because I'm running out of time, and there are things you need to understand. Discretion isn't cowardice, it's intelligence. My mother's rule, never ask about someone's family business, that was about understanding that some knowledge is dangerous. My poppy didn't like the men who controlled our neighborhood. He didn't respect them. He didn't think they were good people. But he survived. He kept his family safe. He played the game just enough to avoid being a target. Was that cowardice? I used to think so. Now I understand it was love. He sacrificed his pride, his sense of justice, his desire to fight back. All of it, to protect the people who depended on him. That's not weakness. That's the hardest thing a person can do. I'm not telling you to be a coward. I'm not telling you to accept corruption or look away from injustice. I'm telling you to be smart, to understand that the world is more complicated than you think, that good intentions aren't enough, that sometimes the price of fighting is too high. My mother taught me to mind my business. My grandfather showed me how to survive in a world I didn't make and couldn't change. Those lessons kept me alive for 78 years. Maybe they'll keep you alive too. Just make sure you understand what you're choosing. And make sure the people you love understand the consequences. Because in the end, you're not just gambling with your own life. You're gambling with theirs too. The clock is ticking. The rules still apply. And pretending they don't exist won't change anything. My mother taught me to mind my business. My grandfather showed me how to survive in a world I didn't make and couldn't change. Those lessons kept me alive for 78 years. Maybe they'll keep you alive too. Just make sure you understand what you're choosing. And make sure the people you love understand the consequences. Because in the end, you're not just gambling with your own life. You're gambling with theirs too. The clock is ticking. The rules still apply. And pretending they don't exist won't change anything.